Ooh. Ooh. This is rich. Do you look at it? Look at the headline. Look at it. Jim Ryan stepping down as Sony Interactive Entertainment CEO. What does this mean? Jim, where you going? Why you leaving, Jim? There's a few ways we can look at this. Big news, right? Now, I'm being a little facetious. I don't really like Jim Ryan. I don't like Jim Ryan at all. Nothing against him as a person. I don't like him as the leader of a video game company I like. Jim Ryan is a businessman, and I think he has a finance background, I think. Don't quote me. But he clearly doesn't understand video games as an art form. He understands video games as a business, as an entertainment medium. He gets it. He obviously gets it because he's really grown Sony. Although I frankly, I don't think he should take any credit for it. Him stepping down and hopefully some kind of gaming related personality stepping up would be a beautiful thing. And I think this means long-term, very good things for Sony if you get Jim out of there. But here's what's interesting to me. This is why this is so big. Jim Ryan is stepping down when PlayStation is arguably at its biggest in history. Jim Ryan is also stepping down at a time when the future content of the PlayStation ecosystem has never been more cloudy or shrouded in mystery. We have not gotten a major blockbuster announcement from Sony in over 18 months. Actually, we're probably getting pretty close to the 2-year mark pretty soon. Now, the PlayStation 5 is succeeding. It's selling like gangbusters. That much is clear. But who's it really competing with? You know what I mean? We're 3 years out from COVID, and COVID was when people were buying PCs like crazy. PCs were literally flying off the shelves. You couldn't find one anywhere. Well, now people have PCs are now owned, right? Across America, Europe, Japan. Everybody now has a new PC. And generally speaking, I think, what are the stats? People keep their PCs for 7 or 8 years. So their new PCs are about 3 years old now. They ain't going to buy any new PCs, gaming or not. People are set for PCs for the next few years. Get out of here, kitty cat. I'm talking about video games. Go, get. People are hanging onto their iPhones for 3-4 years. And I think Apple just had record numbers there. Or no, it's actually, I'm confusing something else. I think it's been a little decline. I digress. The point is that I'm getting at, that I'm beating around the bush on, is the PlayStation 5 is selling well because every other electronic that consumers would purchase, they've kind of already purchased. There hasn't been a big new electronic that has really come out in 3 years besides the Xbox Series and the PlayStation 5. What new electronic has come out that's made any headlines or waves at all? Think about it. The tech world is kind of in a dry spell. And I think that has a lot to do with PlayStation 5 sales. That's not everything. The PlayStation 5 had an extremely strong launch lineup. Demon Souls remake, the Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, God of War Ragnarok, coming, a little bit late, but let's count it. Gran Turismo 7. Those weren't necessarily launch games or even launch window games, but they all kind of came out within the first 2 years of the console. Like, those games were in development during the PS4 era, right? But all the games that were in development during the PS4 era, near as we can tell, are pretty much out after Spider-Man 2. Pretty much. And what we have now is all of our studios working on PlayStation 5 games from the birth of PlayStation 5. And what we're hearing through the grapevine among AAA studios is next-gen games are taking 4, 5, 6 years to develop and hundreds of millions of dollars. This is year 3 for PlayStation 5. And pretty much all we've gotten this year is Spider-Man. I mean, we had Horizon back in, was it January or February? Let me Google it real quick. When did Forbidden West come out? When did Oh my gosh, that was February last year. Just kidding. So, yeah, that's right, because it came to PlayStation Plus a few months ago. All we've had this year is Spider-Man. The last game before Spider-Man was Forbidden West, right? Because Ragnarok was later that year. November 9th, 2022. So, yeah. So, if the only game we're getting from them is Spider-Man, what's next? Wolverine? They have a bunch of games. Well, they have a couple games announced that we've really only seen CG trailers on. What I'm getting at is I think PlayStation is about to enter its largest first-party dry spell in its history. And Jim Ryan doesn't want to take the heat for it. Now, maybe it's not even Jim Ryan's fault. Like, this is just how gaming is going to be. I mean, it's very possible if games are taking 5, 6 years to develop that, across 20 studios, maybe we only get 1 or 2 games a year. But that's not a reality that gamers are necessarily used to. And they're going to get some flack for it. And I don't think Jim Ryan wants the flack. I don't think he wants the pay cut. I don't think he wants to miss out on his bonuses. And I think maybe he wants to, he's still a pretty young guy. I think maybe he wants to continue to have a really successful career at the top. And I think he's jumping ship before the dry spell hits. That's what I'm getting at. 2 reasons to get out of a company when you're on top. Because you're done and you want to have a lasting legacy. And you've done all the work you can do. Or B, you see 18 to 24 months ahead, which you do as a CEO. And you don't want to weather the storm. And I think Jim Ryan sees the storm coming. Going to be interesting to watch. Boy, what a time to be a gamer. Indeed. Well, have a good retirement, Jim. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. It wasn't nice knowing you. But good luck in your endeavors anyway. And please stay out of gaming. You, however, dear viewer, should stay on CloudDosage because that's where you're going to get all the cloud gaming news that you need. And maybe even some industry commentary from your boy Bleeflooflah. That's not a bad deal. all this for free? I guess. I mean, I just like talking to myself in the camera. So it doesn't feel right to charge for that. Okay, I'm going to sleep. Goodbye.